What's up, guys, and welcome back to another Ben'sfoot video. Today it is Reaction Tuesday. This video will be uploaded on Wednesday because I've been slacking. But I started watching the Dear David series by Sniper Wolf, and I thought y'all might want for Reaction Tuesday me to react to the Dear David series. Not by Sniper Wolf, because that has too much bad words in it. But just normal Carlos Wood. I already know that so I'm going to be reacting to this like it's my first time. This is going to be a long video, y'all. I'm going to be reacting to it like it's my first time.
Forms of entertainment that managed to...
Okay, come on. Let's get the cheese. Okay, this is all on Twitter. Okay. Should we turn the sound on and listen to it?
The updated story Adam was telling. But unlike many of the other ghost stories like this, the information people were getting wasn't just in the form of text. Pictures were also being uploaded to Ellis's Twitter feed. Pictures of a small boy. A boy with a caved-in head, who seemed to be almost lifelike. A boy that would begin to majorly impact Adam's life in negative ways. A boy named David.
Christ.
And this is his story.
Okay. Big shout out to Caterpillar for giving us this video without anybody reacting. Thank you. Based on a true story. Okay. Dear David. I'm already getting the freaking chills.
Adam Ellis is both a talented and popular cartoonist who previously worked for BuzzFeed, where he gained a large following over the years of working there. You've no doubt seen some of his comics, probably not even knowing he was responsible for them, as they have been circulated around almost every form of social media. I remember being in the same boat of seeing his work and not actually knowing who he was. Apart from being a gifted artist, Adam also gained popularity from an encounter, or more correctly, encounters with a ghost.
Can we skip to the chase, please? There we go.
That wasn't the case. Before this, Adam's Twitter feed consisted of hardly anything paranormal, and I am talking years of activity on Twitter. It was focused on his comics, life, work, and everything in between. No mentions of ghosts or demons, and out of nowhere it changed. The whole story started on August 7th, 2017, when Adam tweeted the following.
Okay, well, this was a long time ago. This was 6 years ago. I was 3 years old whenever this started happening.
So, my apartment is currently being haunted by the ghost of a dead child, and he's trying to kill me.
Okay.
He started appearing in my dreams, but I think he crossed over into the real world now.
Oh,
crap. The first time I saw him, I was experiencing sleep paralysis and saw a child sitting in the green rocking chair at the foot of my bed. He had a huge, misshapen head that was dented on one side. I did my best to draw it.
Yep.
For a while, he just stared at me, but then he got out of the chair and started shambling towards the bed.
This is all a dream. This is all a dream.
I couldn't move because I was paralyzed. I have sleep paralysis fairly often, and it sucks.
I feel like the first ever time you have a sleep paralysis, you are like just so freaking scared. But then whenever you like keep having them over and over again, I feel like you just like know what's happening, you know? I've never had
Right before he reached my bed, I woke up screaming. Clearly, Adam had a horrifying experience that many of his followers quickly responded to with both concern and others making light of the situation with jokes, while others were calling him out and saying that it was just a hoax. Remember,
until we get to the start.
Adam had never been big on making tweets or anything revolving around ghosts or anything paranormal. Later on, Adam sends out more tweets talking about another horrifying episode he had, this one being even worse than his first encounter.
Mhm.
I had another dream a few nights later, where I was in a library, and a girl came up to me and said, "You've seen Dear David, haven't you?" I was like, "Who?" And she said, "Dear David, you've seen him." She continued, "He's dead. He only appears at midnight, and you can ask him 2 questions if you
So all
say
this
Dear
is
David first."
creeping me out.
Then she added, "But never try to ask him a 3rd question, or he'll kill you." After this dream, Adam was even more on edge from this. Nightmares have a weird way of sticking with us long after we've woken up, and in this instance, it was starting to find a place in the back of Adam's mind. Luckily, over the next few weeks, nothing scary happened. Sleep came and went, and days passed. Life continued, and things appeared to be returning back to normal. That was until one night when the boy himself, David, made his 2nd appearance. One night, Adam recalls a dream that he had. A dream that shook him to his core. In the dream I say, "Dear David, how did you die?" He mumbles, "An accident in a store." I say, "Dear David, what happened in the store?" He groans. "A shelf was pushed on my head." I'm frozen with fear. I ask, "Who pushed the shelf?" David says nothing. I realize that I've asked a 3rd question, which I'm not supposed to do. At that point, I wake up absolutely terrified.
Is that like the video? Okay, that's the video. I was like, is my heart
Beyond
actually
scared
beating
this
out
point,
next to you?
Adam began researching the story, if there even was one, of Dear David, but he couldn't find anything. He searched for child deaths in the area, along with similar names to David, yet he still had no luck at learning who David really was, if he even was real. Luckily, at least for a while, Adam was able to move apartments, and for the time being, he was fine. He began chalking it up to just creepy nightmares brought on by stress, which seems reasonable after all. But like most things we try to avoid in life, the uneasy feeling of David returning never fully left him, and over time, weird things began happening to Adam that didn't ease those thoughts one bit. Adam's cats began almost systematically staring at the door in his apartment at midnight for seemingly no reason at all. Adam saw nobody outside, and there weren't even noises
Y'all
coming
just
from the other
scared
side
to
of it either.
speak at this
I
point.
know many of us have heard about the stories that cats have an ability to see ghosts or spirits, and while not everyone is going to agree with that, even I am indifferent about it, I have to admit that this is weird. For his cats to every night at the same time go to the same door and just stare at it. To add to the weird list of things going on with his apartment, Adam continued to check through his peephole frequently, and eventually, he saw this.
Oh yeah, he took a picture. Yeah, hold on. Do you see that? On the first picture. The first picture, it's like, if we zoomed in, but like you can see like the shadow that wasn't there in the first picture. That kind of looks like a hedge and stuff. Oh crap, I didn't even notice that. Oh crap, thank you for doing it again for me. Now I don't have to edit. Okay, there's a video. 12 o'clock every single night.
And to add just an extra helping of creepy to this, his cats began meowing at the door. And after a few days had passed with not too much activity, Adam continued updating his followers of the events, while at the same time trying to continue his life and not let this affect him too much at work. Yet he did point out that his cats were still regularly sitting at the door, just watching it. He even clarified with one follower that his cats had never done this in prior places that he lived at, and that they had just started doing it shortly after the first dream about David. Not taking any chances at this point.
Who's gonna tell this dude? He doesn't want to accept it. Who's gonna tell this freaking dude that it is freaking Dear David at the freaking door trying to give him probably cat food and milk?
Adam began reaching out to his followers for advice on
Yay, sage.
how to deal with ghosts or spirits.
Oh,
He in
salt.
turn began saging his home and putting salt lines down and
You have cats, and you can see that cat in the corner. He's easily gonna lick that up. That ain't gonna do nothing. That cat's gonna go right up there and lick all of that salt up. You got to see him turn that freaking salt glass, or whatever you want to call it, over anyway, and then he's just gonna eat it. See, he's already trying to get in. Or is that Dear David?
by now, many who thought that he was joking at first began to fear for his safety and worried about what would happen to him next. Some suggested that he should set up a sound recording app that will automatically record any sound made while he slept to see if he could pick up anything going on around him. Desperate for any answers by this point, Adam set up his sound recorder and over the course of a single night picked up 33 different sounds. Most were ambient noises around him, like cars outside or normal creakings of a house or building. But there were 3 sounds in particular that Adam became very interested in. These are those sounds.
I didn't hear anything. I need to turn the sound up.
Adam became very interested in. These are those sounds.
No, that was my. Oh crap! I heard like a thump. That was my stove. Was that grunt? That was a grunt. That sounds like a grunt or like a. Oh crap! Again. Or those footsteps. Oh, now that's a grunt.
As more time passes, Adam continues to buy more spirit cleansing items and also goes as far as buying a Ouija board, something I, nor many others would support, but as Adam himself said, no plans to use it, but at least I have it. And a part of me can see his side on that. I think as humans, we are naturally curious and want to understand what we come in contact with. I know the stories behind Ouija boards and that it probably wouldn't be a good idea, but by this time, Adam had been dealing with this activity for weeks, so at some point you're going to want to know, or at least try to understand what you are dealing with. Anyway, back to the story. The story of Dear David was starting to make its way around the internet now, and several news agencies reached out to Adam to get an interview on the paranormal experiences that he's been dealing with. His following had grown significantly larger as well by this point, and more people wanted him to try to see if he could catch any signs of activity. Adam eventually bought a Polaroid camera, and almost instantly, something strange happened.
bought a Polaroid camera. I bought a Polaroid camera this weekend because they're fun and dorky. I decided to take a few photos around my apartment. I took a couple of my living room and my bedroom. That's the rocking chair I first saw David in. They're pretty unremarkable. Okay. It's pretty spooky. No, not that. The one that comes up here now.
Adam made his way into the hallway and took another picture.
But it developed completely black.
Figuring he had accidentally had an undeveloped Polaroid, he opened a new pack of them to find that none were defective. He then assumed that his finger was just covering the lens accidentally. But then when he tested this by intentionally covering the lens and then going back to take a picture of the hallway again, there was a very noticeable difference.
Mm-hmm. It could
He
just
then
be
made his way
dirty
into the
or
living
something.
room.
Okay, here's my living room.
Okay, there's a video of him taking. Oh, okay.
I'll leave that there. Okay, now I'm gonna take a photo of the hallway just to show you
So the light's
what
on.
that's like.
The light's on, right? The light's on while it takes the picture. Sniper Wolf didn't show this. The light's on while he takes the picture. And then it comes out. And then he puts it
And
right
as
there.
you can see, the first one has already developed.
That one
So let's see what this one does.
develops completely like black, right? Turn it around.
It's gonna take a minute.
Oh.
But it is developing black.
Oh, God.
So I don't know.
I don't feel I need to point out how weird this is, but it goes a step further into honestly disturbing. Adam, still wanting answers, decides to take the same picture, but one with his phone and the other with the camera. And these were the results.
Left is my phone, right is with the Polaroid. The hall light was both on both times. Why is it pitch black each time with the Polaroid? I'm not very good at reading, y'all. I'm sorry. Like I can read, but I'm stuttering when I'm reading. Do I see what? One necessary looking forward. No. How? I still got a while. Still got about 30 minutes. Jesus Christ. Oh, crap.
Throughout the next few nights, Adam began dreaming of David again. He also started having more issues actually sleeping for more than a few hours before waking back up. His cats were as well, continuing to stare at the door every night at midnight, and one instance of him waking up to the entire apartment shaking. Along with the dreams, he felt like the energy in the apartment was off. Fans also started alerting Adam that in some of his pictures, they could see faces. He also mentioned more about the recording app and how it's been picking up very weird electrical sounds every night around 3 a.m. This is pretty interesting because most people say that 3 a.m. is the witching hour, which has been said as the time where
That's why I
anything
uploaded Going on Roblox or Cavern with Jamie at 3 a.m. I should go watch that video, by the way.
supernatural is at their most powerful. A few days later, Adam experienced another dream involving David, where he was being dragged by the child to an old warehouse. Assuming that it was just another nightmare, when he woke up, Adam's blood ran cold as he noticed that his arm, the one that was being dragged in the dream, now had a bruise on it that he didn't have the night prior. Now remember that Adam said that he was being dragged to a warehouse because the next day, while he was going to run errands, he passes an old abandoned warehouse. The doors wide open, yet nothing was in it. Nothing except for a small green chair. I'm really not trying to stretch things here to make them fit, but it's weird because the chair Adam originally saw David sitting in his dream, it was also a green chair. About 30 minutes later, when Adam returned to the warehouse, that door was closed and locked. This is now the part of the story where Adam's demeanor begins changing on Twitter. He still at times appears to be his normal self, but he begins to admit he is now afraid to sleep. He feels bad energy every time he is in the apartment, and that he is worried he's going to be going crazy. A trigger that sent him into this mindset happened a few days after the bruising incident, where he started noticing that he kept getting calls from an unknown number. And, like most people, he didn't bother answering it until one day he got fed up with the calls and picked up. But he didn't want to be the first one to speak. In the back of his mind, he was worried that it could be David. So, in silence, he answers the phone and says nothing. All he hears is an electrical noise, something similar to the one that was recorded on his sound app. Then he begins hearing very faint breathing. Frozen in place, Adam continued to listen, and then he heard it. A faint, almost audible whisper saying, "Hello." Panicked and snapping out of it, Adam ended the call and refused to sleep that night. Adam is a rational person. During this time, he was trying to come up and admitted on Twitter there are reasonable explanations to everything that has happened, but this did not shake his growing panic. Wanting to distance himself from David, Adam moved the green chair that was originally in his room to the living room. He also set up a motion camera in the living room to not see if he could catch any ghosts, but to
Throw that
monitor his
chair
two
a
cats.
freaking
One night,
way.
while Adam was traveling, he got a notification on his phone of activity from the living room. Keep your eye on the green chair.
Oh, crap. Oh, crap. You need to pack your things and get out of there right after I freaking saw the first little given thing. I'll be out that building in 0.1 seconds.
A second notification went through. This time, keep your eye on the turtle shell right above the bookcase.
Yeah. Where'd it go?
Something several Twitter users noticed was that, according to Adam, nobody was in the apartment when those two videos were recorded. Yet, in the video with the chair moving, that kitchen light in the background is off, and the blue chair is somewhat pulled out as if someone had been sitting in it. Now, when the video with the turtle shell falling off happens, the kitchen light is now on, and the blue chair has been moved. Adam actually didn't even address this at first, because I don't think he even noticed it until people started mentioning it to him in the comments. The living room activity wasn't done yet either, as a couple nights later, while Adam was preparing for bed, another incident occurred.
What? What even was that? Shut the front door. For real though. I realized I was recording.
Adam tried to reasonably explain this as him closing the fridge door and that the impact from it knocked it over, or possibly it was a vibration from a nearby train. Yet, he couldn't help but wonder if it was David. Things didn't exactly improve for Adam either, as his mental health started suffering
just
from all
jumped
of these
over
events.
nothing.
He was barely sleeping, and when he did, he had another nightmare. He recounted one that he was laying in bed and then turned over to see a severed head with a bloody spine attached to it, smiling at him. Adam screamed,
Eddie's death from
"What
Stranger
happened to you?"
Things, maybe, bruh?
And the head's smile became even bigger before saying,
Okay, you didn't have to show me the
"Feels
dog.
great." This is just one of the horrifying nightmares that was now plaguing Adam nightly.
Jesus Christ.
On top of those, the paranoia that had been building within him was now making its way to uncontrollable levels. One day, he was walking to get lunch and passed the same warehouse mentioned earlier, and remembering what happened last time, he quickened his pace, but he did happen to notice that the warehouse door was open again. Not wanting to look, but not being able to stop himself, he takes a few steps back and he looks, and he sees a hearse, which he had never seen before, and he states that he has walked past this warehouse hundreds of times since he's lived in that area. What is more disturbing is that in the mere minutes it took him to grab lunch and make his way back to the apartment, the warehouse door was now closed. And as he walked past the door, he hears a thump. Shaken, but needing to know what it was, Adam grabbed his phone and made his way to a window near the door. He takes his phone out and he took a quick picture with the flash on and bolted back to his apartment. Once there, he examines the picture and he sees this. At first, it's hard to spot, and I'll even admit that I didn't even see anything when looking at it until Adam himself points out that there's a figure in the right-hand corner of the picture. A very vague figure of what looks like a little boy.
That looks like his drawing. That looks exactly like his drawing, though. Okay, can you stop it with the music, please?
Thankfully, after this, Adam was able to get a few more weeks of distraction from this nightmare as he had a vacation to Japan. While there, he experienced nothing paranormal, and also it made him feel that perhaps David couldn't follow him. Once he got back home, things seemed calmer as well. Nothing intense happened for the next several weeks. The only thing he noted was electrical issues with the light bulbs and his TV. But other than that, and after the things Adam had already been experiencing, he was grateful to go past those things.
You ruined all the fun.
By now, Adam's story had become very popular around the internet, and many ghost hunting shows and mediums wanted to do an episode about his haunted apartment, but Adam declined all of them, regardless of the money they offered. He instead opted for a friend to come over and cleanse the area with sage and other things, and this actually seemed to work. No more activity was going on, no more bad energy was felt, and his cats even stopped staring at the door. But, as many of you probably could have guessed, things didn't stay that way forever. One night on October 26th, 2017, Adam walked into his kitchen to get a bottle opener, and he happened to just glance out of his window, and outside, on top of a roof, he saw a figure. Adam quickly hit the ground and turned off the lights. He knew he saw something, so realizing that he did have his phone on him, he took a picture out of the window, but it being so dark, he couldn't get a clear photo, so he got up and tried to focus his camera, but by then, the figure had vanished. He never mentioned this, but if you brighten the
still
first
see
picture
like
he
a
took,
little black shadow
it appears
in the,
Adam
like,
really did see
little
something.
corner down below. Oh God. Okay, the music is just getting annoying. Can you please stop the music? The sound effects. Next thing
Things
you're gonna
continued
go
to become
boom,
worse,
boom,
and it made all the
boom.
hope Adam had that
Finally,
this
it
was
blowed
over
out.
quickly
Blew
fade
out.
away.
Sorry.
The nightmares about David returned, and they didn't stop this time. He was for sure, at this point, David wanted to harm him. He felt like he was trying to break him down mentally to make him easier to get to, and it was working. On one particular night, while having another nightmare, Adam again said that he felt he was frozen in fear, but somehow he managed to grab his phone from his dresser and quickly take pictures randomly. And as David got closer and closer, whispering something under his breath, getting on the bed, and rolling his eyes back, and lunging at Adam. And then, Adam woke up. A few days passed, and while Adam was watching TV, he decides to check his phone when he was looking for one of his pictures. And then he kept seeing several dark, almost black photos. Confused at first, but soon his fear took over as he realized what they were, and that he had absolute proof that what he thought he was dreaming, he was actually seeing in real life. These were the photos that were taken.
Y'all, I'm speechless. Yeah, we see it. Yeah. You don't have to show it to me multiple times. We see it. And can you please stop with the music? What are you gonna play next? And another one bites the dust.
I personally don't scare easy. I've
Me
been
neither.
a writer for several different YouTube channels for quite a while now, and most of them are focused on horror. I have seen ghost, paranormal, alien, you name the videos, I've seen them. Apart from that, I'm also a big fan of them. And maybe I felt pretty desensitized by them, but those pictures actually scared me. I mean, even as I was writing this script, my entire body was getting goosebumps. I cannot explain what in the hell that is other than a ghost. And this story still is not even over yet. Okay, back to the story. At this rate, Adam knew his apartment was haunted, and he took a break from Twitter for a few weeks. He also took this time to seriously begin investigating this entire situation. He talked to his landlord about it, his friends, neighbors, and anyone he could think of. During this time period, Adam began hearing a thump coming from above him. Not putting this off as just anything, he instantly started recording these events of how often and loud he would hear them. During the day, it was here and there, but at night, the sound was more active. One night, Adam tweeted out that the sounds had increased in loudness, and it went from something sounding like a ball being dropped to someone falling on the floor. At first, you may think it's just his neighbors. The only problem there is that Adam lives on the top floor, and the only thing above him was the roof. Not being dissuaded by this, though, Adam remembered that there was a crawl space above the stairs outside of his apartment, and it seemed to be the best bet to locate the sound. There was about 3 feet of space from this attic to the bottom of the roof, so Adam decided to do a little bit of examination of the attic door. When he did this, he saw something sticking out. Not being able to tell really what it was, as the door was about 20 feet above the stairs, he managed to get a large pipe to see if he could somehow get the item that was sticking out. He recorded the entire thing as well.
I swear, that's Chris Danger's twin, bro. That's Chris Danger's twin. It's a long pole. That's what she said. I stole that from Sniper Wolf. God, that jump scares me every time.
What had fallen out of the attic was an old shoe, one that appeared to be from the early 20th century.
Leather shoe.
The landlord was called and used a ladder to look into the attic. He discovered nothing. Nothing else with the exception of a very small green marble. Not making much sense out of these two things, Adam kept digging. Possibly the shoe and marble were David's when he was alive. Marbles were a popular means of entertainment for kids back then, after all. After a few days had passed, the nightmares, of course, still didn't let up, and the bad energy had returned. The feeling of something watching Adam returned, and at his wit's end, he installed an app on his phone to take a picture every 60 seconds. Setting up his phone on the top of a dresser, Adam went to sleep, and the pictures he discovered the next day shocked him.
Yeah.
What you're about to see is disturbing.
Show it to me. It's disturbing, but you know what makes it even more disturbing? The freaking sound that you're making with these freaking music sound, bro. He's looking right at the ceiling. Oh God, he's dead. Thank goodness. This dude dead. This dude is dead. We should be celebrating it now. This dude is dead. This dude is dead. Or maybe he just passed out. Maybe he's like tired. I hope he's dead though. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? There's nowhere to be seen. Oh crap, I saw one. You see him like right over there by the bed? Right there. Right there. Oh crap, you still can't see my finger. Oh crap. He left. Oh my god. Oh jeez. Oh my god. Oh my god. He's staring at him sleeping. Now if he starts looking at the freaking camera, I am going to die. Or maybe pass out, bro. Yes, that's my heart right now, bro. Time to pass out. Bro, he's looking right at the camera. Tilting his head. But like, what's that thing? That's what she said. That it still happens. Whoa! Oh my god, why so close? And can you stop with the music already? I understand it makes it more dramatic, but can you please?
I truly don't know what to make of these. I can't argue against them. I can't say this is fake and staged. Even when David is
I cut it
standing
into
above
4 separate
Adam on
pieces
the
for you.
bed, the sheets nor the
they're gonna be- they're still
mattress
really
show
hot.
any sign
And sit over here
of
because
weight
it's,
being on them.
they're gonna make a mess. They're sloppy.
And that
Oh.
last shot,
Don't make too much of a mess. Use those
Close-up.
paper towels.
I personally
Okay.
think Adam
I
said
got
it
pizza
best.
for my dad, y'all. Hold on, I gotta read this. I'm at a loss for words that the malformed ear, that stringy hair, I didn't even know what to think. I looked all over my room but couldn't find anything. And honestly, I've been exhausted. I didn't know how to process it.
By now, Christmas was approaching, and Adam had left New York to go spend the holiday season with his family in Montana.
Yeah.
Don't blame him.
Yeah.
Getting away from the apartment did Adam good, and he also began looking at moving apartments. Why he waited this long, I am not sure, but I know that it is not always that easy. The thoughts of David following him left his mind, as he was hundreds of miles away now.
Thank you.
This may in fact be something of note, or perhaps it's nothing at all, but while he was with his family in Montana, nowhere near his apartment, Adam noticed one morning that there were small footprints outside of his house, almost child-sized footprints. Not really being able to explain them, Adam started feeling that sinking feeling once again, that if it were David's footprints, then that really did mean he could follow him anywhere. I don't think that it was David. Going back to those pictures from his bedroom, David wasn't causing the bed to sink at all, and now all of a sudden he has deep footprints in the snow. To me, it doesn't hold up, but anyway, moving forward a few weeks, Adam is back at the same apartment, and things are still bad.
It could be like
energy
your
is
secret
still
little
off,
brother.
the nightmares, everything. One particular night, Adam had a nightmare of David, but this time David was hovering over him. His mouth was moving faster than it should be humanly possible. Again, paralyzed by fear, Adam lays there and then sees it. David lunging forward to him and causing an immense pressure on his chest. Adam woke up screaming, gasping for breath, and he doesn't see anything there. He runs to his phone and checks the pictures. What he saw, it was real.
No.
And shockingly, this seemed to be the last of David. After this, the nightmares stopped. The bad energy went away, and Adam was actually sleeping again. He took an extended break from Twitter at this time, which made many people fear the worst, but he did return, telling them that he was fine now. Adam still had the occasional weird moment where he felt things were off or thought he heard something, but overall, the haunting had seemingly stopped as abruptly as it began. Afterwards, as months began to pass, which turned into a year, no signs of David appeared. Adam's nightmares were completely gone by now, and his normal personality seemed to be back as well. This may not be the most climactic ending you wanted from this story. You have to remember that this is real life, not a movie where the ghost comes back for one final scare. One thing I did wonder about, though, that final interaction with David, where he jumped on Adam, could that possibly have been him attempting to possess him? Or maybe he did. The sightings of David did end after this incident. And what if David did take control of Adam? And what you're now seeing is just a smile, being hidden by the control of a ghost. Nah, I'm kidding. That's not true.
Yeah,
I think
I
that David...
was literally about to say, like, literally, bro. I was literally about to say, like, 2 seconds ago, he literally said he's returned to his normal self, bro.
trying to possess Adam, and that jumping picture was him trying to do...
Look, I have to say, that is a pretty boring ending. I wanted it to be like something like, God, he woke up from his dream, and the baby was there. What is that? A complete fight. That's what I wanted. But you don't always get what you want. I have a baby doll that I'll show you what I think should have happened. What I thought hoped happened.
Then he
It'll be at
fell.
the end of the video.
And perhaps that expends all of David's energy. Other than that, the story of Dear David has come to a close, and thankfully Adam was able to get his sanity and life back from this truly nightmarish situation. If anything is ever updated about this, I will do a follow-up video, but for now, it seems David is gone, and has been for over 2 years now, and let's hope it stays that way. Let's hope that when you go to bed tonight, you don't get a visit from a little boy with a caved-in skull.
Nope,
But
nope,
if you
nope,
do-
nope. I'm officially not watching that part. Y'all, cut to what I said should have happened at the end of the Dear David series. Oh crap, I forgot to end the video. Okay, cut. I'll say bye, guys. Don't worry. Okay, my bed's a mess, but we don't talk about that. So this is what I think should have happened. Bro, I feel safer on this freaking bed, bro. I'm scared. Just never got done. And this video freaking gave me the creeps even while like editing it. I love editing. Jeez. Okay, so this is how I thought should have happened. Like, you ain't gonna actually kill me. You're Why do I do that, Because this is what I think should have happened. Like, he jumped on him, right? He jumped on him. Okay, he jumped on him. But then, what's his name? Whatever his name is, caught him slipping. Caught him slipping, banged his head on the bed, punched him, put him in a WWE submission hold, sleeper hold on that dude, and then just threw him off the bed and giving him his dented head on the ground. That's how the story should have ended. Okay, cut to me whenever I was trying to get George from behind my chair. Yeah, cut to that. A bit of a long video today, but that is it for Dear David. And I think I know why Dear David left. So he could go to parties. This is Dear David. Right there's Dear David right now. That's Dear David. He's like, I'm just trying to make myself feel better so I don't have nightmares. That's Dear David. Right there. Yeah. Y'all, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Bye, guys. Wait, what should we say?